Hello, I am Manuel. I am the coordinator of the facilitators of this course of Understanding Language MOOC. And this is review of week 1. I am a PhD student in Web Science in the Doctoral Training Center of Web Science in the University of Southampton. And I am also working as a learning designer, putting together some MOOCs in the university.
Hello, I'm Elina Tunyan and I'm one of the mentors on this course. You might have seen some of my comments in the comment section. I also have experience of teaching English as a second language in China and in Russia, and I also work as an English teacher, as an English for academic purposes teacher on the processional program at the University of Southampton.
I used to be a teacher as well in that program. I used to teach English for academic purposes, and we coincided in one of the courses, didn't we? And it was quite a good experience.
Yeah, we talked together, I think, last year.
Yes, we did,
Currently, I'm a research student at the University of Southampton, and my research project looks at the acquisition of the article system in English by native speakers of Chinese and Russian.
Yes. Let me give you some figures for this first week of the course. We have data for the first 3 days, as for the 22nd of October, and let me look at my notes. We have 36,000 people who have joined the course, and we also have seen 16,000 comments.
Wow, that's many comments for
many
the first
comments
week, yeah.
for the first 3 days.
Oh,
there could be more.
Wow,
As we're speaking, there could be many more than that. Yes. And well, there's in previous runs of the course, there we ran a survey that is also running in this course, and we saw that about half of the participants were teachers. That's great because we want as many teachers. Well, we want everyone, right? But we want teachers to share the experience of this course now. And also, we would, if you haven't filled the survey, please do, because we like to know who are we delivering the MOOC for.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we thank you for all your comments. Our mentoring team are trying their best to respond to most of the comments, although sometimes it is very difficult because it is difficult to choose, what comments to respond to. Sometimes, personally, I find it very difficult as well. But I would like just to bring an example of one of the discussions and in some of the comments that took place in step 1.6.
Yes.
So in that step, our participants were asked to reflect on whether, on the question, what is important in language acquisition, and whether the ability to acquire language is something genetic or whether this is a part of being human. And so far, most of our learners agree that probably both of these factors play a role.
Yes.
So if you want to join in these comments and discussion, please leave your comments in step 1.6.
Yeah, please do. Actually, we ran a poll as well.
Okay.
We asked what is the most important factor for learning a language, right? And it was I have the figures here. Motivation. The overwhelming majority of the participants said that motivation is the most important factor for learning a language. Do you agree with that, Elena?
It's a difficult question, but I would agree to this to some extent. I wouldn't say this is probably the most important factor, but yeah, to some extent.
Effective teaching was the second one. 9% only, but it was the second in the list. What do you think about that?
As a teacher, I would agree with that.
Yes.
Because I think teaching language effectively is very important.
Yes, and also I guess effective teaching may foster motivation as well. Yes. So if you plan the lessons in terms of motivating the learners, that may help a better understanding and a better learning of languages. I would like to recommend reading Dornyi, for example, Zoltan Dornyi. I will put the link in this step of the weekly review, because there are some interesting articles that he has written about this motivation factor.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, please check this book out. And also, in order to be to teach effectively, to be an effective teacher, teachers have to know what to teach, right? And teachers know that sometimes there are some properties of language that are more difficult to teach than others. And actually this brings us to step 1.9 of this week, where Professor Rumiana Slabakova introduces the bottleneck hypothesis, in which she suggests that functional morphology, that is all these little words and endings on words, might be the most difficult part for language
I think
learners.
they are difficult, yeah.
Yes.
They are difficult for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
for example, things like articles or inflectional endings on verbs might be very difficult for learners if they do not have these grammatical properties in their language. So a lot of our participants agree that this hypothesis might actually, in a sense, help to teach effectively.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Knowing it,
Yeah,
it may help tackling the most difficult issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we also had questions from language learners, probably not teachers, to whether this hypothesis can be applied to language learning. So there was a question from Rostislav, who asked how can we apply the knowledge of the bottleneck hypothesis to language learning.
Yeah.
So I think what this hypothesis and what Professor Rumiana Slabakova suggests is that functional morphology has to be learned and has to be practiced. And probably the more we practice, the better we get. And unfortunately, there is no easy way out.
Yeah, one thing is knowing it, and another thing is performing on it. I have been 9 years practicing in a different language because I've been 9 years in a different country, in the UK, and I still have to finish mastering some of the things that we are learning here.
Yes. I do agree with you. So if you would like to learn more about the bottleneck hypothesis, please revisit step 1.9, in which you can find the article by Professor Rumiana Slabakova. Also please watch the discussion on YouTube by Professor Rumiana Slabakova, which you can find the link to which you can find in step 1.15. And there will be one more reference uploaded at the bottom of this video on an article which is entitled "What is easy and what is hard to acquire in second language."
Yes. Anything else you want to say about the bottleneck?
Actually, there's been a lot of discussion on this hypothesis, and just today I checked some comments in the reflection part, in the reflection step of this course. And there have been many comments from teachers and how they can actually implement, apply this hypothesis to language teaching. Yeah. And there was this, I'm just going to cite one of the comments because obviously we have so many of them.
Yes.
But there was a comment from Roland in step 1.17.
You could read it all because it's an interesting one,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes, it's a very long one, but I think I'll read it. So Roland says, as a teacher, I'm becoming more aware on what things my learners find more difficult to learn, as they're much influenced by their mother tongue. In this case, I can truly help them appreciate the second language they are learning. Also, as a learner, this bottleneck theory gives me the opportunity to revisit my own native language, as I really never bother looking at it. In this way, I might be able to realize how the interplay of my native tongue and the structure of the second language affects language acquisition. So what I think Roland is trying to say is that as language teachers, we need to know how the native language of second language learners works and how it is different from the language, from the second language they're learning, and what is difficult. Right? So in order to be able to probably focus more on those properties that are difficult to learn in language classrooms. So thank you, Roland, for this comment, and I think this can be a very good take-home message for a lot of teachers. And we would like to hear more from teachers over there.
We are learning from you.
Yes, so please share your comments and views on how you might apply the theory of the bottleneck hypothesis in your teaching.
I would like to join this conversation, actually, and if you would like to join it as well, we are going to post the link to this comment. And by clicking on the link, you will see the comment and you will be able to reply to it and join the conversation.
Yeah, so please join. And in fact, next week we will be focusing more on language learning in the language classroom. So we are looking forward to your comments on this topic as well.
Yeah, thank you. Just one last thing. Please comment as much as you can. It adds a lot of value to the course, your comments. And also reply to the comments, because longer conversations make it more engaging. And follow us in step 1.1. there's a link to our profiles, and click on it and follow us. You will see all what we're saying. I think that's all from me. Is there anything else you want to...
I agree with you. I mean, the more you comment, the better, the more you learn, in fact. So
and the more we learn.
Yes, exactly, and the more we learn. Yes, and so thank you very much once again for your comments and questions, and we will talk to you next week.
Thank you. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.